Hello and welcome to Talkin' Baseball. We hope you had a fantastic weekend. We are here to update you on the things that happened in the baseball. Hello and welcome to Talkin' Baseball, brought to you by DraftKings. Thank you very much for joining us today on this fine Monday afternoon. We hope you are all doing well. My name is Jimmy. Sitting next to me is Jake. In the corner of the room, we got producer BBD. And in California, we got Trevor Plouffe. And this episode of Talkin' Baseball is brought to you by a whole slew of fantastic new patrons. Tom, Andrew Calhoun, Jess Sparks, Adrian, Adrian Magyar. I never seen a GY combo in a last name like that. Garrett McKerney, The Dew, Andres Martinez, Braden Van Teeling, John Bernier Jr., Joe Bernier Jr., Dan Packard, Kyle Showalter, and Alexander Kahn.
Showalter, huh?
Yeah, Buck's nephew.
Okay.
Buck calls him a little... I was going to use the Ramon Laureano word. I don't know why I stopped. We've said much worse on this show.
It's not a great one. It's not an on-air word.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's Pussy Boy.
Oh.
Ramon Laureano taught me that. That's fair.
He's back.
That's fair. He said, how'd you read my lips so well? I said, did I get everything right?
Yeah.
And Ramon Laureano said, yeah, you got everything right, except you missed when I called him a pussy boy. And I said, Ramon, I didn't know that was a word or a phrase.
Hard PBs early.
My bad.
That's I like that phrase a little bit.
It's very fun. Jake just called you that before the show started.
We'll peel the curtain back.
He did.
The curtain back.
Well, that's because he's all the way in New York.
Yeah.
Trev, how you doing?
Yeah. Doing great, Jim. It's good to have you back in the chair. BBD got a rectangle. I don't know if you saw that, but on the episode that C-Rose filled in, BBD got a rectangle.
Yeah.
The chat insisted.
So
that's funny.
you're right. The chat and BBD have this thing going on. I thought I was the king of the chat. Turns out BBD's the king of the chat. So, but other than that, my weekend was good. Mother's Day, all of that good stuff. We had a nice day yesterday. How about you guys? How are you doing? Jake,
how you doing? Jake had himself a hell of a weekend.
He fucking did, didn't he?
Papi Gordo had a weekend. I'm glad my friend James is alive.
Me
It's
too.
good news. Trev and I did have the emergency FaceTime to go through if you die. Like, what are our
we
next
have
steps?
we have a plan. So
that's good.
Luckily, there's enough tape on you in the breakdowns that we can chop up each word.
Siri me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So
That's
you
great.
will
100%.
you will live on. So that's good news. Yeah, I had a.
No, wait, Jimmy, we really did talk about that. So
We laid out some.
The plan's in place now. You're allowed to die again. Congrats.
Yeah. So when you do die, you be happy with it.
I missed more time this weekend than I did when I actually had COVID.
Yeah. You're
interesting.
It's tight. It's tight. Either way, we're happy to have you back. Anytime I've got to put on a strong face, it's not my strength. I'm good at putting on an ugly face. Had a little bit of a baseball weekend, babe. The Diamondbacks. Tori Lavello is a huge fan of everything we're doing and just Joe Cool. I mean, literally hung out with him for 5 minutes and you're like, yeah, I would go to war for him. And I'm still ready to go to war with him. Diamondbacks were awesome. They fully let it rip and let us in. I'll be grateful for that forever. Excited to get in the pool down there. I think that would look good on me. We actually got some numbers and information. We could do a pool day with the D-backs pretty easily. So that'll one day down the line. But they were awesome. And then, I got a little birdie that told me Shane Green was linking back up with the Braves. I asked the little birdie for more information or how they knew that information, and it's passed the sniff test. And then, as everybody knows, the real ones, I said, would you bet our friendship on it? And they said, absolutely, I'm a big fan, and I wouldn't just do this. Went for it. Bang, bang, skeet, skeet. We we're out here. So it was.
And they actually credited you. Rosenthal, Heyman, Sherman, they all actually credited you.
Yeah, social media Kyle was ready to go for throats if they didn't, so I'm happy they did. And yeah, that's cool. I know we've all had our different turns breaking news. And at this point we're up to 50-50 on it being a good time. So now that we've kind of figured out our way of doing it, got the pass-in text that was like, I miss when you used to hand me things like this. And he's like, congrats. And it's like, hey, like, I know you're busting balls, but is it really a congrats? Like, what are we doing? Let's just share information on the internet if it comes through. But it was a big weekend. And obviously there was some hilarious irony that it was happening while you were dying, more or less.
You put the team on your back, Jake. And I did something this weekend that I hate to do.
Okay.
Which is give you credit.
Yeah.
I did that on social media for you. That's how good of a weekend you had.
Huge.
It's huge.
Get credit from Trev. Trev, how was your weekend? I saw Teddy with a rope over shortstop.
Yeah, we had a second to last game. The team is finally firing on all cylinders. It's a shame that the season is ending now. But
what
yeah,
team is that again?
We were a D-backs company.
Yep.
This weekend, the D-backs had a great game. Like I said, just one more to go, which kind of stinks because, like I said, I really believe. And I have a bunch of kids that aren't very good baseball players on my team. First time ever playing. They're finally starting to do it. That's fine. They know. They're finally starting to get it, man. Like, we barely had to use the T this weekend. We're going. We're making outs on defense. And then, boom, the season's coming to an end. But it was a good weekend for Teddy. He crushed it.
That's awesome. Good for Teddy.
Kyle and I had a nice conversation. That was on our way to the D-backs game. Who D-backs are live in the chat right now, the best. And we mapped out a good amount of Teddy's future. So if you ever want that information, let us know.
Okay.
Trev, you know that stuff that before you get the numbing needle at the dentist, they put that like stuff on your gums?
Mm-hmm.
Jake and I are both numbed up with that right now.
Yeah.
They prescribed that to me.
Like Ambisol?
What's it called?
Lidocaine.
Lidocaine.
Ooh, yeah.
So
why does Jake have it?
I told Jake that I had it, and he was like, I got some stuff I could use numbing.
I've had a couple cold sores, but I was in no spot to talk about them because I was clearly getting out cold sored.
I think you want to say canker sore.
Canker sore.
I think you want to say canker sore. You said that on the Weekly Dumb today, and I wanted to correct you, but
it's all right. It's sore.
Sore, yeah.
Noodle's got a poop butt thing going on. Let's talk some baseball.
Let's talk some baseball. I'm giving the NL update, and are you ready, Trev? No. No? You're not?
It's not.
Okay, well. The Cubs took 2 of 3 from the Pirates. Cubs relievers pitched to a 1.64 ERA in 11 innings. Good job by the Cubs relievers. Cubs hitters / not that great. They only had 2 extra base hits all series, but Jock had 6 hits. Tyler Anderson, 8 innings pitched, 2 earned runs on Sunday. T.A., good job by him. The Mets swept the Talkin Snakes. Oh, no. Not a great road trip for Jake's D-backs. The Mets starting pitchers and the offense both weren't great, but the relievers, Trevor May, shout out, were really good. Patrick Mazeika, is that how you say it? Had a walk-off dribbler in Game 1 in his second career plate appearance. Both New York teams with walk-off dribblers this weekend. Lindor breaks his slump. He goes 5 for 13 with a home run and 4 RBIs. He also had an altercation in the tunnel with McNeil that wasn't a Raccoon situation, but they've bonded over saying it was, kinda. My suspicion is that McNeil's not happy with any part of the scenario. We'll get to that later. The Brewers, the Brew Crew, they took 2 out of 3 from the Marlins. Both teams pitched well. Miami pitchers recorded a 2.57 ERA. Milwaukee a 3 flat ERA. Hauser struck out 10 and homered in Game 2. Chisholm is what's this? Brett Anderson makes his return from the IL. Chisholm's going to have a rehab assignment. Burns hopeful to be activated by the end of the week. So all teams getting some guys back. The Braves take 2 out of 3 from the Phillies. They tied game 2 in the 9th, then they tied it in the 11th, then they scored 4 in the 12th to finally win it. Segura, Realmuto, McCutchen all had 6+ hits and 3+ RBIs. Good job by them. Morton got rocked, and Ynoa, is that how you say it? Ynoa continues pitching well. Is he still hitting 400 as well? I don't know. Acuna left Saturday with a bruised pinky, but returned Sunday. He's fine. The Cardinals swept the Rockies. How about that? Cardinals hitters slash 289 batting average, 358 on base percentage. The Rockies hitters were worse than that. Flaherty gets a 7 innings pitched shutout and hits his first career home run. So 2 pitchers dealed and hit home runs in the National League this weekend. Waino also had a really good outing. Arenado homers off his former team. That was a fun storyline. The Giants took 2 out of 3 from the Padres. The West is just beating up on the West. Disco versus Snell in game 1. Man, Gossman versus Musgrove. Paddock versus Cueto. All the starting pitchers kind of struggled. Slater, 2 home run in the series, including a go-ahead home run. Yeah, he was my what to watch for and my nickname that I never actually got called. Aaron Sanchez, Alex Dickerson placed on the 10-day IL. Tough job.
Way to go, Jim. Welcome back.
It's bad.
I was worried about that, to be honest. But I lidocained up, so I'm good. Lasts for 4 hours, and I need more.
Do you feel bad, Jake, about how the Diamondbacks performed the weekend that you took over their team?
So, no. I think, if we're being honest, I think there was a Hail Mary effect. Because at that point, by the time I went to the game, I think it was an L4 in the streak column. So, it's like, hey, at a certain point, let's just throw, literally shit at the wall. And hopefully that turns it around. Yeah, there was a moment during the game that Kyle and I realized that we were like, hey, if the Diamondbacks could go on like a 6-game winning streak, we could milk the hell out of that.
Yes.
But yeah, a West Coast team came out east. My D-backs had a couple tough series, and hey, the Mets, the Raccoon, whatever's going on, teammates fighting. Hey, they're winning baseball games. They jump on top of the NL East for a little bit.
Yeah.
Are we gonna talk about that? Do we need to, or should we just kind of
the raccoon story? All right, so for anyone that has no idea what happened, Lindor and McNeil, there's a ball to the shortstop side of second. McNeil was kind of closer to it when it started, but it would have been a backhand play because of the shift, whereas it came right to Lindor. Lindor fielded it and threw it to first, but he bounced it and the runner was safe, and McNeil kind of didn't get fully out of his way. I don't know. It was kind of a weird nothing play, but also kind of a something play. Then the Mets are going to the dugout, and all of a sudden you see Conforto like hear something, and then and Dom Smith, and they sprint to the tunnel because something's going on, and no one really knew what. But it's something making anyone that heard it sprint to go help. That's how loud or whatever it was. So a lot of people were speculating that it was Lindor and McNeil fighting in a way. And then there's a lot of speculation that McNeil kind of looked like his jaw got, I don't know. That's kind of too much for me. But there were a lot of pictures of McNeil's face and lip and jaw saying looked like he got punched. Then Lindor hits a big home run. They tie the game. Everything's going well. After the game, it's very clear that the Mets knew this was going to be a huge storyline and all the questions were going to be about this. So they concocted a story that, and you know what? You almost need to hear Lindor say it, if I can pull up the audio, because he says it, he tells this story. If you were to just read it, you'd be like, hey, we're not that dumb. But the way that they said it, like they're not trying to hide it. They're like the way Lindor tells the story, it's like, here's the bullshit story we're going to tell you.
Yeah.
Ha, ha, ha. Obviously, this isn't actually what happened, but we're not going to tell you what happened, so here's this joke. Well, if you don't hear it, you might, not understand that, they know no one's going to believe them. They just simply don't care. You know what I'm saying?
And then the media was so mad about it that they didn't come out and just tell the truth. It's like they didn't want to. Like, it was something that happened in the clubhouse. They didn't want to talk about it. They knew they had to face the media at some point. And then the media got mad, and then they made it into a huge story, and then they were mad at Lindor for making it a huge story when it didn't have to be a huge story. They pretzeled each other.
Yeah, so
Lindor and the media, they all pretzeled.
here's the audio.
I told him, I was like, hey, I'd never seen a New York rat, so we went down sprinting. I wanted to go see a New York rat, and he got mad at me. He's like, no, it's not a rat, it's a raccoon. I'm like, hell no, man, it's a damn rat.
Who was he? Who were you debating that with?
With Jeff. I can bring him out and probably give him a kiss in the cheek if you guys want. He was
Sure, why not?
just a rat.
That edit, I don't know why they put the song behind it. And they also took out the part that I think's the best, because he says, basically, if you ever see me hashtag wow or I hashtag oh wow, it's like, hey, I'm being very sarcastic here. Please don't take this seriously. After he said it, he was like, it was crazy, man. It was amazing. It was crazy. And it's like, yeah, okay. Still, people were like, you think we're going to believe this? And it's like, nah. But I was laughing because I think McNeil got the short end of this whole damn story. He got, like, for all we know, he got shoved or punched in the tunnel by Lindor, the new guy on the team who's been slumping like crazy. And then he's not even allowed to talk about it. You just got to eat it and be like, yeah, it was about a rodent fight. Like, McNeil wasn't as into it as Lindor. So I think this is Lindor kind of big dick in his way around the Mets clubhouse a little bit. Not a bad way, I guess.
A little bit. And if we want a Jakey detective get in on this, McNeil's nickname, it's got some squirrel things in there, so maybe they spun off of that, and they were like, we got into a tussle, and then, Lindor, maybe he dug into his road and stuff. It's weird. We don't know what happens, and that's, Trev, you mentioned the two-way pretzel here, is that any other baseball team would have said, like, yeah, there's a little bit of a scuffle in the hallway. Everyone's good. These guys run hot. They just want to win baseball games, and you move on. The media, not even being able to get that answer, was like, what the hell? You guys are going to raccoon us? And so that's both sides kind of ended up in a pickle there. And it's, Mets, again, a lot of – actually, the good Mets fans understand. A lot of Mets people came up at the game and said, what's up, and big talking baseball fans and all that. Every fan base has their 1% on the internet, and that – and especially Mets fans, because there are a chunk that thinks Yankees, Mets, it's a whole thing. Like, I don't live there. Like, no, if we see you in a World Series, yeah, it'll be intense and I'll go at you. But until then, I see you for like 5 games a year. So I'm kind of good on that. I kind of root for the Mets because, oh my God, a New York World Series. That's like my dream. Anyways, my best thing I can say is, hey, zoom out. And whenever we make jokes or the Mets or whatever, zoom out on the Mets and then zoom in between this raccoon situation. They made up a fake hitting coach. Like, this isn't normal baseball organization stuff. Like, if I told you before the season there was going to be a team that made up a fake hitting coach and then said that there was rodents fighting in the hallway of their team dugout, everyone would have guessed the Mets, and we would have been right again.
I also have some things like about the Chili Davis firing that I really can't go into. Like, there's stuff behind the scenes that's also going on that, again, if I was to like lay it out there and say, guess what team this was, you'd probably guess the Mets. And I don't know, like, honestly, I haven't followed the Mets long enough to know how long this has been going on, but it seems like for quite some time.
A couple years ago, they retired a guy. Whatever. I won't get into it. There's some real fun Mets stuff.
And this is so okay. Let's spin it back up for Mets fans. A lot of the Mets actual baseball fans, because they're baseball fans. I love baseball. All the real Mets fans were in the comments saying like, "Hey, we're kind of playing some good ball. Can we talk about that?
5 wins in a row.
Yeah, we're getting hot. Like Lindor got a couple big hits. Hopefully he gets going." The crowd loves Conforto. We were out in right field. I didn't realize. Yeah, Mets fans were all about it. Polar Bear, they're pitching a little bit. Taijuan Walker making fun of me, always. So, yeah, the Mets fans are like, I wish we could kind of move past this Raccoon stuff because we're playing a good brand of baseball right now, which, hey, you do that for 2 series in the NL East right now, and you're the top dog.
Yeah, I love the NL East. I love that Braves Phillies matchup that went on. It's just a good division right now to watch games in because you still have the Mets at top right now. The Phillies and Braves are right at 500. The Marlins, who are the Marlins? That's kind of like where I'm at with them. I don't know. I think they're going to be kind of where they're at the rest of the season. And then you have the Nationals that can come in and beat you whenever they need to with that starting pitching. So it's going to be such a fun division to follow. I'm glad that the Mets have kind of woken up a little bit. We need Lindor to get going, but it's going to be a fun division to follow all throughout the year.
You mentioned Braves Phillies. Last note, just on the game I went to, Trev. Did you see who got the start for the Mets? It was an opener, and it's one of your boys. Big old Tommy Hunter got the opener start.
I saw he got called up. Yeah.
So that was kind of a funny moment. But you mentioned Braves Phillies. A lot of these NL East matchups have been just messes. The Saturday game, 12 innings. That was the official. Everyone send out the win probability chart of the game because it was just up and down. Braves end up winning 2 out of 3 there, and is it time? I feel like every episode we keep saying, "Is this when the Braves kick in? Is this when the Braves kick in?" They might. I know. Shane Green is a solid bullpen ad, nothing crazy, but he's an arm out there. They're also supposed to get Chris Martin back soon, who's supposed to be another kind of key cog in the bullpen. You add a couple bullpen arms. You start winning a couple games. Is this what gets the Braves firing all cylinders? Because, man, very few teams in baseball are right now.
Giants win again.
Giants,
yeah, so the Mets are leading the East, and the East now has 3 teams 500 or above. For a long time, it was like no one in the NL East has a winning record, and the Nats, the Cardinals leading their division with the Brewers behind them. Cubs 500. And the Dodgers, I didn't say them because they had an interleague series, but they drop all the way to 3rd. And the Giants stay in 1st place in their division because they just keep winning. Oh, good for the Giants.
There's a Christopher O'Brien in the chat right now shaking things up. I'm not sure what that's all about.
What's he saying?
He said, "Who's the guy on the left?"
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Looks like you.
That's really it. Good job by the Cardinals.
Yeah, Cards probably deserve a little more love in this segment. They're playing good baseball. I think they're one of 4 teams with 20 wins right now.
They swept the Rockies.
Good.
And the Rockies stink, so.
Oh.
Is that going to be like a thing where we just, if you're a betting man, like, are you just going to go after the Rockies and
Tigers?
Like,
yeah, but I mean, Vegas is going to alter the odds. Like, you're going to.
I know the odds are going to be big, but like, I mean, how many? These teams look so bad. They look so bad.
You know who's got the 3rd worst record in all of baseball?
The Angels? Twins.
Yeah.
Yeah, they look terrible.
Well, we'll do the AL, then we'll get to the Twins.
Yeah.
Who's bringing it? You, Jake?
I'm bringing it. Giants, you're probably stoked, like taking 2 out of 3 from the Padres with this start.
Absolutely.
Like that must have been
in division win.
Impactful.
I mean, a couple more of those. Our Wi-Fi's out, so I can't look at anything. Yeah. So that's always fun here.
Someone got mad at me last episode because we were giving Gabe Kapler credit, and they didn't like Gabe Kapler. But guess what? I don't care. Gabe is doing it. He should never have been fired from Philadelphia. The Giants got him, and here we are.
You know how I peruse all of the team subreddits just to hear what fan bases are saying sometimes? There was someone in the Giants subreddit that was complaining about how Gabe Kapler has no fire. Ooh. And it made me laugh because that was the exact storyline in Philly, but the San Francisco doesn't really demand that out of a manager besides this one guy because all the responses were like, who cares? And it's so funny because when you see Gabe Kapler in these altercations, he doesn't want to get ejected or yell and scream. And
he'd rather have a deep conversation with the umpire. He'd rather pry into their soul than yell at them. That's the kind of guy he is.
No, okay? I just saw and I laughed because that's what that's funny. Someone asked, how is the Wi-Fi out? But the stream is still up. Stream's on Ethernet.
Hardline.
Hardline. We're not dumb. We're not dumb here.
Tori Lavello, big
Yeah.
fan of the breakdowns.
Yeah.
There was a joke made that, like, hey, if you get tossed today, like, we got you. And he was like, well, if there's a play at one base, me and that umpire have a little bit of a history, so maybe.
Ooh.
So we were kind of like, all right.
He got tossed the next day.
Yeah.
So was it third base? Because then that ump went to home plate.
No comment.
Okay. I don't think I'm going to do a breakdown on it because he left his mask on the whole time, and you can't really. And it was kind of like he just got tossed because they're losing a lot, and
Yeah.
he needed to protect his player.
Needed to spark him before we get back to Arizona, #1 state.
He said
Did
that
he,
he said the breakdown I did about him. I got it right. A
Yeah.
lot of the lip reading.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Did he mention that him and I used to go like toe to toe at this thing called the Over the Line tournament?
I kept saying Trevor Plouffe, and he's like, who?
Is it who? Yeah. He freaking knows who I am. Trust me, he used to wax that ass in the Over the Line tournament.
Woo! Oh, you should have told me that.
What's the over the line tournament?
What's the...
It's like a charity thing that my high school baseball team would do, and it's like you never played Over the Line. It's like a baseball game that you play.
Maybe. I don't know by that.
It's not
name.
important. It's not important. But I love Tori. Tori's always been a good guy, so I'm happy that you two are like friends. You like are friends now, right?
Friends.
Yeah.
Fiends.
Ooh. All right. The AL update is brought to you by Cushy Dreams. If you guys have listened before, you know about Cushy Dreams. Hopefully you've tried them out. If you haven't listened before, listen up. Cushy Dreams specializes in high-quality smokable CBD. So it's got 0.03% THC. It's legal across all 50 states. It'll ship discreetly to you. It's cannabis that ships discreetly to you. It's smokable. So they got pre-rolled joints. They got eighths. It smells like marijuana. It tastes like marijuana. But if you don't want to get the side effects of marijuana, but you want the anxiety to go down, you want the pain to go down. Actually, Katie and I were using some CBD last night because her back was hurting her. But she can't get high.
Oh, wow.
What?
That's good.
Yeah. Yeah, she can't get high, but she can get CBD.
CBD.
So you can go to cushydreams.com. It's KUSHY dreams.com. You can use code baseball for 20% off your next order. Smoke your CBD with promo code baseball for 20% off today. Cushy Dreams. Jake, what happened in the American League?
Cause it's one more day up in the canyon, and it's one more night in Baltimore for the Red Sox, who just won 3 straight games against the Orioles. They're playing the 4th game today. How about that? Pivetta, Trev's guy, full pension. Piv was on the bump. Richards, Rodriguez. More so for the Orioles starting pitching. They got rocked around so far. 7.94 ERA and 11.1 innings pitched. No bueno. 5 Red Sox hit homers. Chavis, ice horse season. He gets his first. We've seen him go ding-dong. Kike, my guy. He gets hurt, though. Don't like that. We'll see what happens in the final game of that series today. Twins and Tigers. Game 3 got postponed, so they split the first 2. 7-3. 7-3. Tigers hitters were hitting a little bit. 289, 393, like that. Tigers match, though. 292, 418. Tigers relievers, it's bad, man. It's bad. 8 ERA that series. 5 of 7 relievers give up runs. Man, Tigers, bull. Like, how do you not have... Not doing that now. Mariners at Rangers. Rangers get back up to 500. Taylor Hearn. Follow him on Instagram. It's good content. Both offenses hit a little bit. Rangers put up a big number. Garcia for the Rangers. He's been hitting. You might even hear about him later. You also might not. Great end to game 2. Garcia throws out Lewis at the plate. Really good pick by the catcher. That was fun. Hard to the IL. Blue Jays at Astros. Astros take 2 out of 3. They win on Urquidy and Greinke Day. Matz was out there for the Blue Jays win. We had a little Gurriel fest. That was fun. We've got them on both sides of the puck. Simeon, 4 hits, including a home run. Astros were hitting. Blue Jays were not pitching too hot. And then the White Sox take on the Royals. Oh boy, are the wheels coming off for the Royals? Are the White Sox getting it going? White Sox hop on top of the AL Central. Rodon, Lance Lynn, and the girl from Giolito, Lucas Giolito, tall and tan and young and lovely. White Sox starting pitchers, Jim, you like this? 0.56 ERA. That's good. That's good. Royals starting pitchers, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's bad. 12.34 ERA. Abreu and Mercedes, couple thick boys knocking it around. And the Rays at the A's, couple West Coast, East Coast teams that get compared to each other. Athletics take the first two, 2-1, 6-3. Rays take the final one, 4-3. Athletics relief pitching, 8.1 innings, only one earned run. Like that a little bit. How about a Seth Brown walk-off? And in sad news, Kevin Kiermaier, the sheriff, goes to the IL. And that's your AL recap.
Fantastic job.
Way to go, Jake. Way to go.
I know, I don't know. I was going to say, Trev's on the show. He played for the Twins for a while, and I said at, the end of the NL recap, third worst record in all of baseball. They lost a game to the Tigers in which they had, I was just looking it up, how did they lose to the Tigers? Because we've seen what the Tigers have done. They had 13 hits, Trev. They went 1 for 14 with runners in scoring position, and everyone has their troubles, and it's just one game. They're, 2-7 in May. What's up, Trev? When we're getting to the middle of May, and I obviously when the Yankees were doing bad, Jake and I were irrational, and we're like, this looks awful, this is terrible, and they're somewhat, while still not really looking better at the plate, sans Stanton and LeMahieu, they're winning now, which is good. The pitching's been better. What's going on with the Twins, and how much longer can it go before they're like, well, division's not happening?
I honestly do not know. I mean, their hitting has been, honestly, it's been pretty damn good. If you go in the team stats, I mean, they're second in OPS plus. They're fourth in OPS. They're doing it. Have they done it with runners in scoring position? Not really. Pitching hasn't been there. It's just one of those things that haven't clicked to get wins. And we talked about it before on this show or another show. I don't know. I think Jake mentioned it about how in 9-inning games, they're not that bad. Yeah. But the extra inning games, the 7-inning games, they've been really poor. So do I think they're a 12-20 team? No, I don't think they're a 12-20 team, but they are a 12-20 team. If that makes any sense, what I just said right there. I think they're going to be better, but there comes a point where if you get down this many games in the division, it's hard to climb back up. And it's a tougher division than we had given it credit for before the season. We said the Royals, they could be okay. The Indians are going to stink. They don't want to win. Well, guess what? They're winning. Even if they don't want to win, they're winning. So there are some good teams in that division. And if the Twins continue to pile up the losses and get behind, it's going to be interesting to see what they do. Because a lot of the people they have, most of their good players are old. That core that they had, they're going to have to make some decisions here. Falvey and Levine, they're going to have to make some decisions here coming up quickly. Because this window that they thought was open, I don't think it's as open as much as they thought.
Buxton goes to the IL, and he had been so good for them. So good. I mean, MVP race good. So that hurts. And, yeah, Jim, it was my fun stat from last episode trying to impress Chris Rose, and he was not impressed. Didn't like my Pujols takes. The Twins are now 12-9 in 9-inning baseball games. They're 0-11 in extra innings and 7-inning doubleheaders.
I heard a lot of that. The extra inning stuff, I believe, because their bullpen's been bad. And I don't know if the Twins have figured out. The Yankees haven't figured it out yet, how to do the extra innings. Yeah. They're trying to play it like it's real baseball. And the teams that have understood, okay, this is a bunting and fly ball competition now, are winning in those games. As well as the idea of, tie game in the 9th inning, if you're at home, you always just throw your closer out there because there's no save situation anymore. But you shouldn't do that now. You should throw your next best reliever who's still available and you should save your closer for the potential 10th inning with the runner on second base, because especially the Yankees, because you just need strikeouts at that point.
Yeah,
and,
you get a strikeout.
Aroldis Chapman strikes out 90% of the batters he faces this year, so it's a waste to use him in the 9th with a clean slate, and then bring in the second tier reliever because they already burnt all the other guys, and you bring in. I don't want to throw anyone under the bus. I'm just trying to you bring in Wandy Peralta with the runner on second, and it's like, why didn't we save our biggest? And other teams are doing that, and they're saving their strikeout pitchers when the runner on second, and they're bunting, hitting sac flies.
It does get tricky because if you use Wandy Peralta in the 9th and then you blow the lead there, and now your team is down in the bottom of the 9th, that's the counter to that. You don't want to go without using Chapman, but it's very true what you're saying.
If there's a setup guy available, if there's a
high leverage
guy available,
like a Chad Green, one of them.
Yes, that's
relies a little more on contact,
yeah,
as opposed to in the extras.
Save your strikeout guys for extra innings.
I know it's all different because it depends on who you're going to have up, who the runner on second base is, but it seems to me like if you're the visiting team and you're going first, you have to just try to score that one run.
Yeah.
Like the teams that are trying to bang and, have a multiple run inning, I don't think that really works out. Get that one run in and then put the pressure on the home team to have to do it again. Guys don't know how to freaking bunt anymore. So if you do score that one run, if you just, hit the ball to second base or you do bunt him over, whatever it is, it's not a for sure thing that the home team is going to be able to match that, especially if you can play a little bit of bunt defense or like you're saying, the visiting team saves a strikeout pitcher for that bottom half. It's interesting. I really haven't thought about that. There has to be some strategy for this dumb extra innings rule now. You have to plan for it.
Yeah,
it's happening a lot.
No, yeah, it's a different game, and I got frustrated with the Yankees, and I don't know if the Twins are not doing it, but they're losing a lot of the game. So you have to give up and be like, all right, this is a bunting and sac fly competition. Yeah. Anything that comes after that first run is awesome. But if you don't score that first run by bunting him over and then hitting a sac fly, you've lost the game.
And that's where I think analytics has been telling people that if you're the away team not to bunt, which, Trev, I'm completely with you. I think you do whatever to get that run on the scoreboard because then you flipped the pressure. And if the other team, doesn't get the runner over or whatever, you've now put your position like the mentality. Because we're a couple gamers here. We got 4 gamers on the show right now. You got to get that. You have to put a 1 on the scoreboard. I almost look at it. Jimmy's played me in ping pong, and he knows my fatal flaw is I just play defense. I don't have winning shots.
Grew up playing against the board.
I used to play.
I hate playing against somebody like that.
I used to play against a wall in my basement. It's how I learned. I never hit winning shots.
Why? You can beat Jake. You just have really fun rallies for a while, and then once you land one good shot, you get him.
I'm the dream ping pong opponent.
Yeah.
It's I would just get the run across every inning and force them to make the mistake. I bet.
Do we have stats on that? Can we look at the away team who score in the 10th? They push that first run across. How often they win? Or it goes to an 11th inning.
Yeah,
Jeremy in the chat says the Rays have yet to bunt in extra innings. So now let's go look at their record in extra innings. See if I can find that.
You gotta do it because we don't have Wi-Fi.
I got you.
You're our research department.
I tried taking every computer off that.
I don't think it's. We'll have to reset it after.
I think it's just
the Red Sox they beat the Orioles again.
Best record in baseball.
Best record in baseball.
Check this out. Tampa Bay Rays 0-3 in extra inning games. They've yet to bunt, according to Jeremy in the chat. So maybe there's some correlation there. The best team in extra innings is a team that is 4-0. I'm trying to get it back up here.
Okay.
Seattle and Texas are both 4-0.
Look at that.
Feels like teams that probably go small ball.
Best teams in baseball.
Yeah, in Milwaukee, they're 4-1. Seems like they probably would do it as well.
Yeah, I hate that nonsense. I hate that nonsense. They say if you don't bunt, if you bunt them over, the run expectancy is better to score one run, but worse to score multiple runs. Well, it's tie game in extra innings, so one run is pretty
good. The odds of scoring a run go up. Foolish Baseball did a good video about it this weekend.
Oh.
So.
Yeah, the Dodgers starting pitchers 2019.
Bailey calling out Christian Yelich's mom, so I started calling out Bailey's mom on Twitter, and he wouldn't show a picture of her.
Like that
coward.
It's a good mom off between you two.
Yeah.
Dodgers 1-6.
Red Sox.
Minnesota 0-7.
Red Sox come off a real fun slate of teams that they've played against here.
Yeah.
Seattle, the Rangers, the Tigers, Baltimore, and the Yankees beat these teams as well, so it's not really shit talking. I'm just interested to see. Like, I for sure think they're a playoff team right now. Like, I think that if they can drive this
Best record in baseball.
if they can drive, yeah, but still, there's some people doubting them, and I think that's kind of foolish. I wouldn't doubt them. But I'm interested to see. I mean, the Royals, I'm more so intrigued by still. Do you guys think the Royals are the real deal, or do you think that they might, get got by the White Sox or whatever? Because I think the Red Sox will be top of the division, first or second.
I think both those teams will end up not being in the playoffs over 162. And especially, you just talked about the slate of games that the Red Sox just went through. We talked about this a little bit with Chris Rose this morning. Their schedule coming up now is tough. And then if they get through this and they're still doing it, I will be a believer. But they don't play a good team, or they don't play like a bad team until August 3rd, which is Detroit. Like, they are going to be run through the gauntlet the rest of May and all of June and all of July. Like, it's a tough schedule. So I really want to see how they perform in these next few months. I'm just not on the Red Sox train right now, and this might come back to bite me, but I don't see it.
Yeah, I mean, it's two different conversations. They're the best record in baseball. I mean, it doesn't pass the sniff test. I think they're going to be solid. I mean, the top half of that lineup, and it's where do you actually land when we hit around the trade deadline? I saw Sox fans getting excited for some Scherzer. I mean, I bet we'd all be a lot higher on the Red Sox if Chris Sale comes back and looks 90% of Chris Sale and they made a trade for Max Scherzer or something like that. So just stay in the mix. That's what I said for day one with these Red Sox, and they got off to a hot start. I know, Trev, you get running hot on managers. They clearly feel a little bit of energy from Cora, whatever that means. Cora also does look better when a lot of those guys are raking. They have the highest OPS in the majors, which I won't give Cora credit for that. And, that ties into the whole what's going on in baseball with the hitters right now, because highest OPS, I think, compared to last year or the year before that, they would have been 9th best, but nobody's hitting. They are right now, and they're getting a little bit of pitching. So I do want to see. They've got a couple tough months of summer baseball coming up. Right now they're feeling good. So, hey, string along some series, string along some wins. You should be fine, especially, if you could get around the trade deadline, they should have a little bit of flexibility. But yeah, no, we still have a lot to find out about this Red Sox team. But I mean, the dream start they wanted coming into the season. The Royals, I'm a little worried. It's starting to feel like that good energy, and I said a lot of this, so I'm putting myself out in front of the bus. I don't know. Their run differential's looking bad. They're under 500. That division was supposed to be tough. The Twins, we just talked about, they haven't figured it out. The White Sox are starting to look good. Cleveland does what Cleveland does. That, Trev, I know you said, like, hey, Chris Bryant, these Royals, they were winning games. There's a trade deadline where the Royals ain't buyers. They're sellers, and that might be a 60-40 sellers at this point.
Yeah, I mean, to get Bryant, they would have had to continue to be there at the deadline. I hope everyone proves you wrong. I want all the teams to do well. They're if I'm looking at these teams and just watching the games, reading the statistics on paper, I just don't see either of them at the top of the divisions. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's hard to talk. It's hard for me to talk badly about teams and players, but I don't believe in them.
Okay.
Not
good. I was looking up the Mariners in extra innings. The first one was the first game of the season, and the opposing pitcher walked in the walk-off. Walked 3 batters straight. So
that helps.
That helps when you don't have to swing at all.
What else we got? White Sox got the sweep. That's awesome. The Astros took 2 or 3 from the
Blue Jays.
That's a pretty big series right there.
Is it? What are the Blue Jays up to? Where are they in the standings?
They're
now?
a game above 500. I mean, the Yanks and the Astros are both 2 games above 500 right now.
So they're doing things.
They're still in the mix.
Houston's hitting the ball.
Yeah, Houston's on the way back.
Yeah.
As the temperature goes up. Excited to see somebody get hot, man.
Did you see
You know,
the
it's
picture
hot,
of
the Cardinals.
Altuve?
Yeah, the Altuve pick. That
They are 8-2 Cardinals. Shout out in last 10. The Altuve picture was making the rounds around the internet. He had all the pink on, and it was just a really bad angle for
tough
him
angle.
because
been there.
it made him look even shorter than he is, and people. It was
Hey, when he first came up, I did a whole video on short players versus tall players. When Altuve came up, when the Astros were still in the NL and they had the old uniforms, he was listed at 5'5" on all the score bugs. It's 5'6" now. I don't think he grew since he was like 23 years old.
Good pair of spikes.
Yeah. I wonder what his actual height is.
Let's see him. Let's
Because
get him on.
I think some places list him as 5'7" now. But when he first came up on the score bug, it was 5'5".
definitely not.
Let's
5'7".
get him on the pod.
No.
I was gonna say I think I've seen him listed as 5'7".
That's what I've
Like
seen.
listed at. It's not what he is, but
Because I've always said he's our height. But like they had him listed as 5'5" when he was in his rookie seasons. It's a 2-inch fluctuation there.
Been there. Trev, I know this is someone you were tweeting about, and I felt the exact same emotion, and it was just seeing him. Yordan Alvarez, man, I think we're starting to enter some special territory. I mean, that opposite field home run he hit looked like a miss hit, and it's out of the yard. And this year where people aren't hitting, like, his numbers at his age, I mean, it's special. And Paul O'Neill on the Yankees broadcast when the Yankees played Houston, before he homered twice off Garrett Cole, Paul O'Neill, who's a hilarious and awesome broadcaster, Yordan Alvarez wasn't doing much, and he's just like, this kid's approach is unreal. And hearing it from him helped as well. But, man, he's a dude. He's a dude.
Yeah, he got a lot of praise. Bregman put out a big tweet about him and just how good he is. I remember I told you guys, man, this was the reason I picked the Astros to get to the World Series. They were adding Yordan back, you know, like this is a real deal, like bona fide offensive superstar. And I said, I think he's got one of the sweetest, most pure swings in the game, top 5 in my opinion. But he looks really good. And you know where he first signed and who should still have him?
The Dodgers, right?
The freaking Dodgers traded him for Josh Fields. Can you imagine?
No.
Friedman, he has a quote saying, that's probably a mistake that I traded Yordan. Can you imagine the Dodgers with Yordan Alvarez?
No.
Like,
Well, Jay, can you let us know how the Dodgers, or Trev, let us know
Trev's
how
gonna
the
let
Dodgers
us
did
know.
this weekend in the Interleague, because they're a fun storyline as well. Here we go.
fine, I'll start off with the Dodgers, even though it's at the bottom of my list. Jim, they went down to Anaheim, the freeway series, and the Angels took 2 out of 3. First game, Griffin Canning. That's our guy, Nate Steele's boy, versus Urias. Angels take it 9-2. Second game, Kershaw versus Bundy. That was the game the Dodgers came out like gangbusters, and then the Angels kind of roared back. So the score was a little closer than it actually was. The Dodgers dominated that game. And then on Sunday, Angels took the rubber match 2-1. Quintana versus Bauer. The hitters did well on both sides, to be honest with you. Joe Kelly and Dennis Santana for the Dodgers did not have a good time in this series. Rookie infielder Jose Rojas had 4 RBIs and his first career home run. We like shouting that out on Talkin' Baseball. And Albert Pujols' replacement, Jared Walsh, records 5 ribbies in the series. David Fletcher, 6 hits. A couple of injuries. Cobb was placed on the IL, the 10-day IL. And Iglesias, not sure what's going on with him, but he X'd on Saturday and did not start on Sunday. Moving on to the Reds in Cleveland. The series got split 1-1 because Game 3 got postponed. That first game was the Miley versus Plesac. Indians get no hit by Miley. That's the second time they've been no hit in 3 weeks or something like that. Not really good for Cleveland, but what do they care? They're still playing good baseball. Miley throws a no-hitter. The second game, Savali versus Castillo, 9-2 Indians. Indians starting pitchers were there. 0.6 ERA, Plesac, 8 innings pitched, no earned runs, and Savali, 7 innings pitched, 1 earned run. And Naquin, 7th home run in this series. I kind of like that guy. Do you remember he had that highlight where he like threw the rock horn up when he scored the winning run?
I do not.
You guys don't remember that? I do. Okay. moving on, the last interleague series was your guys' Yanks hosting the Nationals. The Yanks take 2 out of 3. Nationals won game 1, 11-4. Corbin versus Tyone. 4-3 Yankees in game 2. They walked it off in extras. I believe it was Stanton with the walk-off single. Looked like he hit it 1,000,000 miles an hour. And then the rubber match, the Yankees took 3-2. Herman versus Ross. Scherzer was dominant in game 2 before the bullpen blew the 2 leads. Like Jimmy pointed out, the Nationals social media team calling you out, and then you called them back out. Great job, James. The Mayhew had 5 hits. Torres had 3 hits. And they're the only Yankees hitters to have multiple hits. Turner and Castro with 5 hits each for the Nationals. 5 different Nationals hit home runs. And guess what, boys? Luke Voit, Gio Urshela expected to return early this week. The Yanks, they're going like this. They're going up. They're going up. They're going up. And that is what happened in the interleague series this weekend.
Thank you, Trevor.
Luke Voit is crushing the ball in AAA.
Yeah.
Gotta love to see that.
Yeah, I'm excited for him to rejoin. They haven't had any production from first base at all. So I'm excited for that. Yeah, the Yankees played the Nationals. They took 2 of 3. Scherzer was great. The Nationals are a weird team to me. Was it you guys talking with Rose last episode? I think maybe I overheard it, or maybe it was with us. Like, no one talks about the Nats. And then you wonder, like, should people be talking about the Nats? And then you're like, maybe not. Is it because their logo looks like Walgreens and they don't have a state, which I think was what Jake said? Like, they're not actually in a real state. What was your joke?
I think it was
Trev's joke? Well,
I said they're not a real city.
Yeah, they're not in a real city. I don't know. They don't, like, they came to town and I was like, okay. This is a weird hodgepodge of players all on the same team. Schwarber hit a bomb. I like that.
Yes.
I mean, I didn't like it, but I liked it.
Yeah. Schwarber hitting bombs at Yankee Stadium. We've heard about that during each trade deadline for the past couple years. Yeah, Yankees sneak a couple out. I mean, talk about they lose game 1. They had the blow-up inning. And then Mad Max Scherzer's out there for game 2. Mows them down, but the Yankees find a way against Brad Hand both times. God, Brad Hand and the Yankees, not good. So the Yankees sneak out that. Trev, we talked about it about 10 or so days ago on you and Chris Rose's pregame show about what the Yankees needed to do on this homestand. And I asked if it was unfair or fair to ask for 6-7 wins, and you said no. I mean, that's what they should be looking for, and they did that. So that's good. Interested, they've got a big 10-game roadie coming up that starts in Tampa that's been an absolute house of horrors for them. But they do get King Louis V back, so that's a lot of fun.
Can I say something?
Please, man.
I know that Brad Hand has good outings.
Yeah, a lot of them.
But he never has good outings against the Yankees.
Mm-hmm.
And it matches the eye test that he doesn't have good outings every time I see him pitch. Now, I don't know if he pitches different against the Yankees. He's blown a save against the Yankees his last 3 times facing the Yankees. And, we were live streaming in the playoffs, and I was like, what the hell? Like
He throws
This
junk.
is what Brad Hand throws?
He's a junk closer.
I need to watch him when he has a good outing, because I don't understand how he ever has a good outing just by watching his stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, especially if he's coming in after Scherzer. It's like, what? Trevor May was talking about on the Rose rotation how, he's like, I got a really good fastball, but if I come in after DeGrom and throw my fastball, it's easy as shit to the batters because they're used to seeing DeGrom's fastball. Throwing Brad Hand in, following Scherzer, I mean, that seems like an illegal move if you're the manager. It's just going to look, I don't know. I'm interested to see how Brad Hand ever has good outings because it doesn't match the eye test. It looks like Roark to me.
No.
It does. It's like a lefty looper.
He throws funk, man. He throws junk. He's a funk closer. That, like, after Scherzer, I actually like that because it's a completely different style. It's a completely different at-bat. Trevor May's saying, a righty throwing a four-seam fastball after DeGrom. That's the Little League effect.
Yeah, but the guy in Baltimore that throws a dead fish, that's funk.
I mean, well, that's maybe the funkiest pitch in the league, so yes. But yeah, Hands there, he was having a great year up until the Yankees. So
I know, I don't get it. I need to go watch.
Go watch it. We'll have you watch some tape.
People just don't hit the ball hard against him. That's the thing. Is he soft contact, keeps the ball on the ground. He's at a 51.6% ground ball rate, and league average is 44%. So that's kind of a new age way of thinking about things. I think most teams would rather have a strikeout guy in the role that he's in. But the ground ball pitchers and weak contact guys are becoming increasingly valuable in an era where we're playing with this ball that is extra bouncy. So that's just kind of what he does. His exit velo average is 83 miles an hour. League average is 88.5. So like he's just soft contact, except when he faces the Yankees, apparently.
Oh, even the DJ one was a 10 hopper up the middle in the playoffs. But he was also wild this series, which I don't think
four
that's
pitch
normally
walk Tyler Wade,
part
which
of
is
his
incredible.
game. That's
That's not good. And Stanton hit a ball 1,000 miles an hour off from 10,
Always.
which he does.
Do you remember that?
does.
Do you remember that application in high school we had at Pomprock, Jake? It was called like Faces, where you could just like, it was like a police report. Like you could like choose the eyes and choose the nose, and you could build a face.
Ooh, I don't know.
Oh, well, that's what his picture looks like.
Okay.
It looks like someone just like chose different aspects and put it together. It's also blurry, which is
Clue. Okay.
tough for Baseball Reference picture to be blurry, but
Kind of looks like my grandpa.
it's badass.
Okay.
Yeah, my grandpa is a badass, or was a badass.
Dodgers are losing, Jake.
Yeah, a lot of games. It's kind of this hidden story of baseball. I'm sure Dodgers fans don't feel like it is, but nationally it hasn't gotten a ton of love because they've stayed above 500. But man, they have been losing a lot of games. And Trev, you mentioned this quickly. They went up 13-0 against Dylan Bundy. Eat bugs. They went up 13-0, and in the 7th inning, at the end of 7, it was 14-11. And I think the Angels had a couple more guys on base. That game was late night Saturday. You know, a lot of people were in bed. Mike Trout was in bed. He got pulled from the game early because they were up so many runs. If they had fully blown that game, we would be in Dodgers hysteria right now. If they blew a 13-run game, and they were kind of close, like that got swept under the rug, and hey, they won the game. But with the losing pattern, streak, whatever you want to call it, they're on. If they had blown a 13-0 game, it would have been full-blown hysteria. Man, I don't know, Dodgers. What the hell?
It's so weird because if you look at just what they're doing, just look at the stats, which I know doesn't tell the whole story. Like they're still well above average, both sides of the ball. And Jim, your favorite statistic,
Boners.
what is it called? The Pythagorean whatever?
Yeah, that's your favorite. I got that from you.
Oh, wow.
Oh, well,
favorite
they should, according to that, they should be 21-14. So maybe they're getting a little bit unlucky.
Well, that's people
I
use
don't
that,
know, but it's been bad base. It's been bad winning.
people
or
use
losing
that
for them.
to judge managers. So tough job by Roberts. Yeah, I don't really.
14. Yeah, their run differential is still there, but man, it's what did they start out 13-2 or something like that?
Yeah,
It's been bad. It's been full-blown bad. Not bad road trip bad. Like bad. Full-blown bad.
Guess what their odds are to make the postseason now?
100.
93%.
98%. So they're still the computers still believe in the Dodgers. I apparently the computer too, because I 100% still believe in the Dodgers. I still think they could even win 100 games. Like they're just that good.
I think they've had do they have a losing record in their last 30? They have in their last 20, their last 10, their last 5. Yeah, they're 14-16 in their last 30 now. That's crazy. You see Bauer's quotes? He was like, I'm pissed. I came here to win. How would you feel about that, Trev, as an everyday player? I think Bauer's been performing on the mound. But again, he pitches once a week, maybe twice a week. And he says, I'm pissed. I came here to win. I didn't come here to lose. I think it's fine quotes. But I'm interested from, he wasn't just talking about the games he's in. He's talking about like a team dynamic. As a guy, genuine question. I'm not really pointing you in any direction. As if a pitcher speaks about the team as a whole, then he's not an everyday player. Fair? Not fair? Does it mean anything?
I think it's fair. I mean, he's part of the team. I haven't seen the quote, so I don't want to go too far into it. But I think if someone was offended on the team, they just say, "Hey, Trev, we're in early May. And I don't know if you know that, but we're a really good team, and there's a lot of baseball left, and we'll be there at the end of the year. I think that's the gist of the clubhouse in general. Sure, it's probably pretty grim right now because, I mean, when you start losing like they've been losing, it's just not fun to show up to the yard. But they also know like we are the best team in baseball. Like we will be okay. If there's any team that's really confident and can say that, it's the Dodgers. So I think that, he's maybe doing a little bit of lip service to the LA media, like showing, hey, I want to win. I think that's good. Like whatever, that's fine if he wants to say that. But I don't think there's anybody whatsoever in the Dodgers clubhouse panicking right now.
He said, I'm pissed. I freaking hate losing. That's why I came here. We're not playing up to our capability. I'm mad. I'm not going to speak for anyone else. You can say it's early and there's no need to panic, and it's all true. At the end of the day, we're not just going to roll out the bats and balls and win baseball games. We're not going to sleepwalk our way to winning the division and a World Series again. That's not how it works. You got to go out there and beat somebody every day. We haven't been good at it, and we need to get better. So I thought it was fair quotes.
Yeah,
I get it.
I liked it. I thought it was great. I think that's what you want to hear from anybody on your favorite baseball team, that you hate losing.
Yeah, I saw a ton of people giving him shit for talking since he only plays one game, and that didn't ring true with me, so I wanted to get your opinion on it.
Yeah, I think that's a fine quote.
Cool. Yeah, losing does suck. Boom. Yeah. Indians and Reds, we didn't really talk about that.
Wade Miley, no-hitter. Unfortunate timing, because I think everyone was already at the tipping point of, why is nobody hitting this year? And then Wade Miley throws a no-no, and everyone's like,
Yeah, it does suck, because what he did, obviously it's very exciting for Wade Miley, and his name's in the history book, but we're lying if we don't say that Wade Miley throwing that no-hitter stamped no-hitters might mean a little less this season, instead of stamping Wade Miley's career as amazing again and on a good trajectory. And that's harsh, but we're lying if you're not saying that.
Yeah, the record in a single season, which has been done 3 times, is 7 no-hitters. Technically, we've only had 4 this year, but we have 5. If you really want to break it down, Mad Bums should count. But, I mean, is there any way that record doesn't get broken? Like, it has to.
I'm kind of out on it, man. Like, people are requesting breakdowns. They already don't get watched that much, and they're like, take 10 times as long to do. So everyone requested no-hitter breakdowns. I'm sorry. I don't think they're going to happen anymore because they're boring now.
Tough.
Honestly, if you had a meter and it was like Wade Miley's going to have a great season, or, okay, no-hitters are kind of meaningless, his no-hitter swings it the way that he'd rather it not swing.
Sorry, Wade. Good job.
Amazing game. But if the Indians get no-hit for a third time, then it kind of cancels out all the Indians' no-hitters.
I mean, that's twice in under a month. I believe it's like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
That's and they're still winning baseball games. Like, baseball's nuts. Yeah. Baseball's nuts.
All right, let's go to the individual awards. It's brought to you by DraftKings. Big names are headlining this weekend's UFC 262 card, from Nate Diaz to Michael Chandler. There will be no shortage of action, and DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of UFC, has a heavyweight offer for you this weekend's fight with 100-1 odds. One fighter will be walking away with the belt. Will you be walking away with the cash? Pick the main fighter you think will win, and DraftKings Sportsbook will give you 100-1 odds on that fighter. How about that? This is what we've been telling everyone in Yankees land, Trev, so I guess I'll tell everyone in all baseball land. You do this, right? You choose a fighter, really good odds. There's more than 100 games left, but you get the $100 in free bets, and then you just choose the over-under on your favorite team. You know you're going to be watching every night anyway, and you put $1 on 100 of the games, and you have yourself a little more fun the rest of the season. Seems like the no-brainer of no-brainers to enjoy baseball just a little bit more, and you're not being too risky, and you're having a good amount of fun. So download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code Jomboy when you sign up to turn $1 into $100 when you bet on a main card fighter to win. Place your bet and watch the fists fly this weekend. That's code Jomboy to turn $1 into $100 on select main card fighters for a limited time, only at DraftKings Sportsbook. You must be 21 or older, New Jersey, Indiana, or PA only. New customers only. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER, or in Indiana, 1-800-9-WITH-IT. Let's move on to
Bang.
Standout Performances.
Standout performance.
I get to go first. I grabbed our dude, Jay Flair. Jack Flaherty has a fantastic outing on the mound and a good outing in the batter's box as well. 7 innings pitched, 0 earned runs, only 3 hits allowed, and he hits his first career home run. In this single game, he lowered his ERA from 3.41 to 2.83, and that's a huge drop on the eye test when you're just looking at numbers. He raised his OPS from 350 to 702, near average with that 1 home run. So every number went drastically a better route. His home run had an exit velocity of 106.2 miles per hour. He did not allow a single base hit in this game with a higher exit velocity. So of all the hits he gave up and the hit that he had the hardest hit ball, which I think is kind of cool. Bragging rights for a while. So good job, Jay Flair. He's my standout.
Your boy.
Love that.
Your boy, Trev.
He's doing. And do you guys remember the first game of the season? Just was horrible for him, and ever since then he's been doing it. So I'm happy. I texted him.
Yeah, I was looking at.
I said, way to
looking
go.
at his pitch mix a lot. This was the first game he really was like a 3-pitch pitcher. Like his third pitch he used was 15%. He does a lot of different stuff. I went game by game, and one game the slider was the most used pitch. A lot of times it's a 4-seam. This game was pretty even between the 4-seam and the slider. 2-seamer gets in there. It's it must be on feel or scouting report, but yeah, his usage game on game was interesting.
He
Love that.
yeah, he enjoyed it. Hit the Yabo. It was a legit one, no questions asked. Love that. And yeah, I mean, hey, I don't want to start saying all-star starter, but how's he's 6-0 record, 2.83 ERA. Jay Flair, Mile High City. We'll see you there. And if you're wondering, part of the reason the Cardinals are starting to become one of the better teams in baseball, mentioned this last episode. Waino's ERA is now 3.8. Flaherty 2.83. Carlos Martinez is the low man or the high man, 4.35. John Gant 2.15. Kim 3.06. Cardinals rotation right now looks pretty good.
Oh yeah.
They look like more of the team we thought they were going to be. Like preseason, we're like, okay, this is what we think they're going to be, and they're getting there.
Jake, who is your standout?
Jamalama Ding Dong, you almost poo-pooed me a little, like my whole noodle situation at home right now. There might be poop all over my apartment. That's a whole nother issue. I'm giving it to Mad Max Scherzer. 7.1 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 14 Ks. 14
Yikes.
Ks. That is a record for an opposing starting pitcher against the New York Yankees. Yankees have a lot of history, folks. A lot of history. And Max Scherzer sets the record. He was gross. He was dotting pitches. This was after a 2 to 3 hour rain delay. There was a genuine part of me that thought the Yanks might be messing with Scherzer a little bit because it won't rain in the Bronx. It was the lightest rain you've ever seen. So I think conspiracy theories were kind of okay on it.
It was also my what to watch for. A fake rain delay.
Fake
Don't
rain
fuck
delay.
with Scherzer, so I said on the pregame show.
It might have been very real. He comes out, he drops stick, he was dotting pitches. There's my favorite one. He brought one back against Brett Gardner and dotted it, and you could see Gardy like almost want to argue, and then he just kind of stiffened up, and he's like, "Nah, that was about as perfect."
It's a back or front door?
Front door.
Ooh,
And he's just
love
like
that
that's as good as it gets. So Mad Max Scherzer, and a part of the reason I picked this as a storyline. Hey man, I'm out on the Nats. I'm quitting on them. My heart wants to get tied up in them for whatever reason, like that pitching staff, and I love Soto so much, and I wanted to believe in Schwarber and Bell. I love Trey Turner. I'm just out. Until they get 3 games above 500, I just can't tap into the Nationals. Right now they're in the bottom of the East. I think they're 13-17. Again, no interstate here. So the Mad Max Scherzer trade deadline rumors are already starting to swirl. And I'm almost rooting for it at this point. Let's get some chaos. Would love to see a team. I mean, if you're any team that thinks you're borderline in the playoff race and you get Max Scherzer, you now think you're a World Series contender. So I'm rooting for that. Either win me over, Nats, or trade Mad Max. And I'm currently big-time team trade him.
That's something that never even came into my mind, trading Max Scherzer, but you're right. Son of a gun. I'm curious. There's going to be a lot of people up for grabs, I believe, this trade deadline, and Max is going to be one of the people at the forefront. My goodness.
Yeah, it's they'd have to take on a good amount of money, so that's the interesting part of it. But someone would grab him.
If he's available, someone would make the move.
Yeah, it's like $20 million for half a season. So
Well, at the trade deadline, I mean, you get him, because what's he making, 25,
42.
30?
He's making
42 this year?
42.
That's right. The Nats do those funky contracts.
So
You eat a little money, you get more prospect capital. That's how trades work nowadays. So if Mad Max is available to be traded, a team will go and get him.
Yeah, they have a big decision to make.
Trev, who's your standout performance?
You guys know I went back and forth on this. I didn't want to take another pitcher. Then I was going to go with Yuli Gurriel, who had a great night on Friday. I thought that night happened on Sunday on Mother's Day, and there was the whole thing with him and his brother playing against each other. His mom had the split jersey on, which I love. I love split jerseys, split hats, because it fires people up when that happens. So she had the Astros Blue Jays thing going on. But it turns out, like I said, he hit his homers on Friday. So I said, nope. Then I went, and I'm going to go with DJ LeMahieu, who I believe this also happened on Friday. 3 for 4, 2 home runs. Now, the thing with DJ is he hasn't been hitting for any power this year whatsoever. Okay, if you go back to, where is it? April 26th, that's when the batting average and everything bottomed out. He was hitting 250, 671 OPS. Something clicked. Multiple hit game, and all the way through down now in that span from April 27th to May 9th, he's kind of just been going off, and the Yankees are 9-3. He's got the OPS back up to 765 with those 2 homers on Friday. So they need the machine back. He can't be he can't be what he was in Colorado when he had that under 100 OPS plus. He needs to hit for power. That's why the Yankees gave him that money. So let's go, man. 2 home runs, very nice. Keep that going. The Yankees have started to win because he started to hit a little bit better. He's my standout performance.
2 homers are off of Patrick Corbin, who he absolutely crushes. 6 home runs off of him now, the most he has versus any pitcher. And they've seen each other a lot. His numbers versus Patrick Corbin are incredible. OPS plus takes in ballpark factor, so I don't know if those home runs will help him out too much, as I think they're out in one stadium and one stadium alone. Both were
they really short? I didn't even see him.
Both were not home runs off the bat.
Second one was nice.
Only 8 extra base hits so far this year for him. You know, he's really been just slapping the ball.
He's been topping
around,
everything.
So
Him and Glaber haven't had any power. Any power. So hopefully it does spark him. And Trev, he's become such a part of the Yankees lineup and dynamic that when he's not right, the Yankees don't feel right, man. So he, like you said, in his past 12 games or so, he's looking like the DJ LeMahieu the Yankees have seen for the past couple years. So, what's wrong with a couple porch jibbers?
There's nothing wrong with that. That could get him going. He's had 5 games in the last 12 with multiple hits, only 3 games without a hit. He went from 250 batting average, which is important because that's a stick for to measure DJ with, 250 to 281. So he's doing it. Good for him.
All right, let's move it on to Slump Watch. BBD, who are the guys that we may be adding to the list?
Well, we've got 5 of the biggest offers of the week potentially coming on. Pete Alonso could be replacing his teammate. Goes 0 for 9 on the weekend before walks. Eduardo Escobar goes 0 for 11 with Jake in attendance. Not for all of them. Hunter Dozier 0 for 10, 2 walks in there. Sean Murphy 0 for 10, 3 Ks, no walks. And Jonathan Scope 0 for 7, a walk and a strikeout.
All right, so I think it's really fun to just simply replace Alonso.
Alonso for Frankie.
Lindor came off Slump Watch in a good way, and he was on there for a long time.
5 for 11 weekend.
Yeah. So Lindor was good, and let's replace him with Pete Alonso. I like that. Some other guys on the list from last week. Ty France, he went 1 for 9 with a double. Carlos Correa had a rough weekend, only 1 for 8. It was a home run, the one hit. Freddie Freeman, he's off. He had a 364 batting average, 500 OBP on the weekend.
Frederick. Classic.
So he's off. So Freddie's definitely off. So we got one spot available out of all these new guys. You want to go Escobar?
I feel
Judge is staying on. I don't think we said that.
Yeah, Judge Correa, Alonso, and Ty France. Ty France is starting to get into a nervous area where it's like, hey man, you either got to get off or we got to figure it out. I'm fine with putting Eduardo Escobar on here because we did that earlier in the season and he was ashamed to flame. And, Eddie's a friend. He's has he retweeted me on Twitter? Absolutely, because Jake Snakes and all that. Trev, I guess you know him too. You guys played baseball together or something. But I have the most confidence that Eduardo would be a shame to flame guy, so I have no problem putting him on there.
Okay. And you want to leave Ty France on?
I think so.
I'd like to watch him one more time but if it doesn't happen, then I just don't believe in his April.
Yeah.
Like, this is Ty France's last stand.
Okay. Because, his numbers are plummeting fast. He had a really good start to the season, but I'm fine with that.
You can either have an honorable discharge or a dishonorable discharge.
Okay. So then the other offers for the week, Dozier, Murphy, and Scope, we are just...
You got lucky.
And I assume of that group, Escobar's probably having the best overall year. Maybe Dozier, but...
I'm not sure.
Just guessing.
Yeah.
Don't have numbers.
All right, so Ty France, Alonso, Correa, Escobar, and Judge, we're watching you guys. Now, as for who's been swinging the bat well,
Yeah.
That means I'm on fire, baby. Like Waco.
Adolis Garcia, 7 for 12 with 2 homers, 7 RBIs, and a stolen base. And he had the crazy nice play to end the game where it fell in front of him, and then he just scooped it and winged it at home to get the runners from scoring. That was awesome. Jorge Polanco, 5 for 8 with a homer, 2 doubles. Good job by him. Gene Segura. He went 8 for 13 with a homer and 3 RBIs. You guys talked about this guy already, Yordan Alvarez. He's got it going. I mean, he was kind of his batting average was bad. All those numbers were kind of bad before those Yankee home runs against Cole, right? That kind of set him right, or was he already kind of?
No, I think he was going. I was just on his page earlier. It's he's a disgusting human being.
It's a human being.
Are you saying being or bean?
Being.
I don't think he's a bean.
His numbers on the year are Grosso. As I try to bring it up on my phone,
It looks like he's been hitting all season, but
I think his power numbers maybe weren't there before Cole. Because 362, 395, a 1 OPS right now.
Pretty good.
Yeah, but the stretch he's on right now is crazy. His last 7 games, he's gotten multiple hits every single game. His last 7 games, he got a 517 batting average and a 1 slugging.
I mean, guys, look at his career so far. 116 games. 116 games. He has 34 home runs, 103 RBI, 324, 407, 1.057 OPS. Guy's insane. He's a monster of a man. His swing is so quiet. Oh my God.
He was born in Las Tunas, Cuba. Does that stand for the Tunas?
It fits my narrative.
Go on.
Just if you're a GM, just get all the Cubans.
Yeah.
Cuban GM Trev.
Good.
Forgot
Yeah.
about
The
that.
White Sox kind of trying that.
And they're in first place.
JT Realmuto, 6 for 13 with a home run, 2 doubles, 3 RBIs. Kyle Lewis had a nice series. Good for him, 7 for 13. Dansby, 5 for 11. And Alex Bregman. So a couple Astros on there, a couple Phillies. Good job by all those guys. And that's who's on fire. Good job.
Love that. Love a little in Fuego.
All right, we'll rip through some of these awards real quick. Awards. Mine's the Happy to Not Know Ya award.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Jim?
The Happy to Not Know Ya award.
Ooh, Jim?
Any guesses? Pretty tough.
I already clicked on your link, so I know who it is. But
Happy to not know you.
I'll give you $1 million if you get it.
It's not me, right?
Not you. I know
Okay.
you. It goes to umpire John Libka.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually going to do a breakdown on this because I do so many breakdowns shitting on umps when they get bad calls that I think it's deserved.
Okay.
I don't know this ump's name. I checked. He has ejected some people. He ejected one player in 2020. He ejected 3 people in 2019. Scott Service, both times. So maybe he's got a little thing with him. But yeah, I don't know that name. I know more umps names than I should because I do a lot of the breakdowns where I learn them. Do you know this ump, Trev? John Lipka, like from your playing days?
not off his name alone. I'd have to see his face. I guess I could look him up right here. John Lip.
Yeah, I didn't know him. He had the best, there's that ump reports Twitter account, the report cards, which, I mean, Donaldson posted it one time. So he's looking at it. Players are looking at this shit. And he had the best ump report card I've ever seen. He had 99% overall consistency, 99% overall accuracy, 100% outside the zone accuracy, meaning he didn't call a single pitch that was a ball, tracked as a ball, a strike, and only one pitch that they tracked as a strike, he called it a ball, and it's so borderline, and it was like a high curveball. So just a good job by an umpire doing a great job, and happy that I don't know your name, man, because if you know an ump's name, it's usually for the wrong reasons, but maybe now people will know this guy's name and be like, oh, yeah, he had a good game, great game. If this came out that it was Angel Hernandez who had a perfect game, you'd be shocked. It comes out that, an umpire had a perfect game. Which one? And then you don't know his name. You're like, that makes a lot of sense.
That's a good gumbo.
Yeah. Only one missed call.
I like looking at those umpire scorecards. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. I like knowing
Lipka?
Libka.
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 He's a young guy, which makes sense because guess what? Your eyes get worse as you age.
I know. There's been a lot of tests, and the younger umps are actually better. Because, dude, the old umps, like Joe West, I know you're going for the record. He's going to retire next year after he breaks the record, but there's no way Joe West can function in the way that you have to be able to function. You know how fast the game is when you're at playing level? It's unreal. It's kind of like how we don't make 90-year-olds retake their driver's test. There's oh yeah, they're still good. It's dude, if my grandma can legally drive right now, then the government is insane.
Yeah.
And wrong.
Yeah.
Because she can barely walk,
Big
but
time.
she's legally allowed to drive.
They're dangerous.
What?
They're dangerous.
It's so
on the
weird.
road.
It's is it just because old people make the laws? Anyway, John Lipka, happy that I didn't know your name because it means you're doing a good job.
Shout out, John.
What up, John? I hate when you do your picks just for ratings.
What's that?
Getting Libka's name out there just for clicks.
Yeah.
Yep.
think
I
our
knew it. I
internet's
knew you
back,
were going
by
to
the
do that.
Internet's back.
Or at least
Hell
it's
yeah.
working for me now.
Hell yeah.
Trev,
Jake?
you want to go?
Hell
You want
yes.
me to go?
I'll go. My award is the No Dicks for You award.
Wow.
And that is Dicks.
Got Beavers.
Let me finish, BBD. No Dicks. That's DICK apostrophe S. Of course, I'm talking about Dick's Sporting Goods. This is a little off the cuff here, but my friend John J. Okay, started with the Angels this year. Was up for a little bit, made the roster. Then he went on the what's the list where the his wife was giving birth to their son. What's that list
Paternity.
called again? Paternity list. Went on the paternity list and they released him.
That sucks.
And I talked to him and he wasn't sure what was going on. He wasn't sure if he was going to play again or just kind of be home. He decided that he wanted to go back. He went to Salt Lake City, which is where they have their AAA team. He was going to go do it. And he put out a little IG post. He was at Dick's Sporting Goods and he was looking for pants. Because if anybody knows, the minor league pants are brutal, especially if you've been in the big leagues for a long time. So he went there. He bought pants at Dick's Sporting Goods. He bought Mike Trout cleats at Dick's Sporting Goods because he says Nike had not been treating him fairly since he got sent down. Well, turns out he didn't need the Dick's pants or the shoes because he got called up And then in that game against the Dodgers, he replaced Mike Trout, got a couple hits, even got an RBI. So, no dicks for John Jay.
Dude,
is my award. Congrats, John
minor
Jay.
league uniforms are so bad that players would rather go buy their own from Dick's Sporting Good.
100%.
What the hell?
They've missed it for years, and it's insane.
It's crazy.
What's going on? I'm sure, like, if you go play college ball, I guess they make more money than minor league.
They're just so okay. For my experience is Rochester Red Wings. There's an equipment closet, and it's just pants that have been around for years. And some will have elastic in the bottom, some won't. It's just bad. Like, you're not going to get a pair of pants that fits you correctly.
Well,
So,
I
some guys
guess
take
that
it upon themselves to
I
do it.
get you don't need, like, you don't get fitted perfectly pants if you want tapered, if you want baggy, blah blah. But I mean, they should be of quality.
It's bad.
That's crazy.
The affiliate team can't at least
Baseball
buy the Dick's pants.
Well, they do if the colors match, but most of the time they don't match. So you're just going to get these random pants, and they're different brands and all this weird stuff. But anyways, I just thought it was really funny. Like, this guy's been in the big leagues for so long. Like, your favorite player's favorite player is John Jay, and he was shopping around at Dick's Sporting Goods because Nike wasn't treating him fairly and because the minor league uniforms are so bad. But he didn't have to use them, so no dicks for John Jay.
Trev, I don't know if you've seen it yet. I would not have seen it. I got pretty lucky. John Jay made a awesome catch in left field the other day.
Mhm.
Awesome. So I'm happy. I know you're a big John Jay guy.
He's one of the most respected guys in the show right now. So if you don't know him, know him.
Know him. Beautiful.
He's also Cuban.
Okay.
Freaking love Cubans, man. I love Cubans. I love Cuban sandwiches too. I love Cuban coffee.
I like Cuban sandwiches as well.
Put a little bit of Cuban in my hair. That's how I get it like this.
Mm.
No, actually, Jake
Love
put
Mark
ball
Cuban?
toner in his hair today.
I did.
Oh, you did? Manscaped ball
Yeah,
toner?
sprayed it in his hair during the weekly
Good
dumb.
for you.
Can't hurt.
Jake, do you have an award?
I'm giving out the Miss Jackson Award.
Sorry, Miss Jackson. Ooh. That.
Yeah.
That.
Yeah.
Are you for real? Never meant to make a dog cry.
Keep going.
I
Let's see where we land.
apologize a million times. Then it's like a rap. Like, I don't.
You got it.
I don't have that part.
You got it. I'm giving it out to a guy that I've always liked, and I think he's proven that he is for real, as Jimmy laid it out. I'm giving it out to Sean Manaea. You know, we always wonder, what's the secret sauce in Oakland? They're the West Coast Rays. Basically, both teams' secret sauce is they pitch. And Sean Manaea, man, he's having a really good start to this year. He's got a 3.07 ERA in 41 innings pitch. I think if we started talking Oakland A's playoffs, I think he's the starting pitcher I'd least want to see on the mound as baby Jesus figures it out, and I know Bassett broke out. I like me some Sean Manaea, and he's low-key, had a really nice major league career so far. He's 29 years old. Over the last 4 years, if you want to go there, 50 starts, a 3.44 ERA. That's a really quality starting pitcher. If you tighten it up a little bit, it gets even better. The past 3 years, 23 starts, a 3.25. I like me some Sean Manaea. Some of the baseball savant stuff is weird. His fastball spin ain't there. His curve spin ain't there. But a lot of it is there. The velo ain't there. But a lot of the exit velo, not walking guys. I'm a Sean Manaea fan, and he's having a nice year, so I'm doing it.
Good job.
You're doing it.
I saw him throw a no-hitter once.
Baby Giraffe, the kid.
He's also a really nice guy, cool guy, a guy that you want to hang around. I've shared some beverages with him before, and just a delight. A delightful human being.
Second highest WAR on the team to Yusmeiro Petit.
Ooh.
How about that? How about a 1-4?
I would never
a
have guessed that. Holy
1-4
shit.
WAR out of the pen for Yusmeiro. Maybe he should have got the award. But I love me some Manaea.
Trev, you ever been in a building for a big league no-hitter?
I was part of one. Jared Weaver no-hit us in Anaheim.
Damn.
I hit a ball foul homer foul by this much. Almost ended it for him. But I'm happy. I'm actually like, now that it's all over and done, I'm happy that he got the no-hitter because, whatever.
Nice.
I saw someone tweet out, and let me confirm this. How old do you guys think Jared Weaver is?
39.
He's
38.
37.
38.
Yeah.
I would have said like mid-40s.
He got in trouble this weekend. He got ratioed.
Oh,
Oops.
I'll go look it up. All right. Who was the best friend of the week, BBD?
Our best friend of the week is Jack Flaherty. We already talked about him. Great outing. Hit the homer. He likes hitting, so.
Good job, Jack.
Round of applause.
And I think we're getting Robo-Trev.
Robo-Trev.
All right, let's do elevator talk. If you are in an elevator with the person wearing the hat of this team, here's some simple fodder for you. 2 minutes on the clock.
Just getting up and down the Vader. You
As
want to
we-
prove you're a fan.
No, we've done them already. I'm doing it again.
Close.
The Mariners. Mariners. Well, they're the best team in extra innings. So if the game goes into extra innings, hey, we're 4-0 in extra inning games.
You say, know what? Know why I like this team? They play the game the right way. They get to run across when they need to. 4-0 in extras.
They have a winning record, but they're in third in their division, so you can kind of say, what's going on here? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they're calling up some kids.
Kyle Lewis and Fuego list.
Kyle Lewis.
Actually, you want to talk about something? This just happened. The chat just put this out. Apparently, Joel Sherman and somebody else falsely reported that Kelenic was on his way up.
Yeah,
So
Trev is robot Trev for the YouTube, but for the podcast, people don't understand you. Yeah, all the reporters just chasing stories like bloodthirsty, dumb dogs retweeting clearly fake accounts.
Not me, baby. Kelenic. Just go Kelenic. Just be like, I like the start we got off to, and I think this Kelenic kid could be special.
Yeah. What's their schedule coming up? Who do they got? Let me see.
You know who's a guy you might know, Trev?
Well, they got the Dodgers.
Kendall Graveman is having a great year for them and throwing gross stuff. Pitch ninja. Kendall Graveman.
Yeah. They got the Dodgers, they got the Indians, they got the Tigers, and the Padres. So there's some stuff you can talk about. All right. Thank you very much for tuning in. We will see you on Wednesday. Goodbye.